Every story has a beginning, and boy howdy does the world of Avatar have a pretty epic backstory. From the spirits who first roamed the world, to the first Avatar, to how exactly Aang ended up in the ice, murder, and Agni Kais. I'm Kris Carr, and today I'm giving you a crash course in the events that took place before Avatar: The Last Airbender. Before we jump in, I want to give a shout out to our patrons on Patreon. Thanks to donors like you, we get to keep writing, reviewing, and revisiting your favorite shows. Head over and see if a tier works for you. If you can't help with monies, remember, sharing, liking, and subscribing are still the best ways to show your support. Now, let's dive into all the plot-important stops through Avatar. At the start of creation in the world of Avatar, Tui and La manifest in the physical world, assuming the form of koi fish. During this time, the Mother of Faces gives birth to Ko, the face stealer. The two will become estranged as we learn later when Aang meets Ko.
My old friend, the Avatar. It's been a long time.
Vaatu breaks through the barriers that separate the human world from the spirit world, making it so travel between these two planes is possible. This leads us to the era of Rava.
Since the beginning of time, we have battled over the fate of this world.
As you'll recall from my spirits video, Rava, the spirit of light and peace, battles her dark counterpart Vaatu. This causes the first harmonic convergence.
What's this harmonic thing Vaatu was talking about?
Harmonic convergence. That is when Vaatu and I must battle for the fate of the world.
Sometime after, humans mount cities upon the backs of lion turtles to protect themselves from the dangers of the spirit wilds. When humans have to visit the wilds to gather food or other supplies, the lion turtles would gift these hunters and gatherers with the ability to control one of the four elements: water, earth, fire, or air. These cities would eventually lose contact with one another and develop their own independent cultures.
Humans have been forced apart, settling on the lion turtles who protect them, and losing touch with each other.
According to the Avatar timeline, around 9800 BG, a young man named Wan decided to steal the element of fire from a lion turtle to incite rebellion and steal food from the local family, the Chos. Because of this, Wan is banished into the spirit wilds where he learns about the spirits, befriends them, and learns how to firebend from the dancing dragon. Shortly after, Wan severs the link between Rava and Vaatu, which releases chaos into the world.
Thank you, human.
Rava and Wan journey together to restore balance in the universe, and have Wan master the other three elements. Rava becomes permanently bonded with Wan, making Wan the first Avatar.
We are bonded forever.
Together, they defeat Vaatu, lock him away in the hollow of the Tree of Time, and Wan separates the spirit world from the physical once more, keeping spiritual portals at the North and South Poles. As there is now an Avatar, the Lion Turtles collectively make the decision that they no longer need to protect mankind, and should not grant the ability to bend anymore.
Our time protecting mankind is over. We will no longer give humans the power of the elements.
This, of course, leads to the people residing on the Lion Turtles to leave, and once again come in contact with one another. Many of these groups went to war against one another, forcing Wan to step in to maintain peace. This would become the ongoing duty of the Avatar.
We will be together for all of your lifetimes, and we will never give up.
The humans divided into 4 nations, each devoted to a bending art. As we discussed in our other videos, the water tribes learn to bend by watching the push and pull of ocean tides and the moon, the earthbenders from badger moles, the firebenders from dragons, and the air nomads learn to bend from flying bison. The tribes would eventually grow to get along and respect one another, but do remain separated by their polar locations. Some of the southern water tribe, while wandering through the Earth Kingdom, would end up staying in the foggy swamp and forming a tribe there.
Hey, you guys are waterbenders.
You too? That means we're kin.
The firebenders, known as the Sun Warriors, create a thriving civilization under a tribal structure. Eventually, they would fade away, hiding in ruins, while the rest of the Fire Islands would carry on firebending and grow their civilization.
It's like the sun, but inside of you. Do you guys realize this?
Well, our civilization is called the Sun Warriors, so yeah.
I'd also like to note the birth of Avatar Kyoshi, as we do focus on her somewhat later in the series.
I created Kyoshi Island so my people could be safe from invaders.
Kyoshi's victories lead to the first ever Avatar Day, and, as we learn in the comics, she also creates the Dai Li in response to some peasant uprisings in Ba Sing Se. The Earth Kingdom becomes a constitutional monarchy during her time as Avatar. Once Kyoshi passes on, Avatar Roku is born sometime in 80 BG. Fun fact, this new Avatar, Roku, is born the same day as the next Fire Lord, Sozin.
Nice one, Sozin.
You were friends with Fire Lord Sozin?
Back then, he was just Prince Sozin. And he was my best friend.
The two would grow together and be best friends. On Roku's 16th birthday, as is tradition, it's revealed to him that he shall be the next Avatar. He leaves the Fire Nation to master the elements, returning around the same time his friend Sozin ascends the throne and becomes Fire Lord.
It's an amazing stroke of fate we know each other so well, isn't it? Together we could do anything.
Yeah, we could.
Sozin truly believes that it is his destiny, and the destiny of the Fire Nation, to conquer the other nations, or, as he sees it, spread their glory. Years later, Avatar Roku will discover the Fire Nation colonies the Fire Lord had created in the Earth Kingdom and confront Lord Sozin. The two engage in battle, resulting in Roku destroying part of the Fire Nation royal palace. Obviously, these two no longer see eye to eye on what's best for the world.
But I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your permanent end.
In 12 BG, Avatar Roku is killed while fighting a volcanic eruption. At Aang, the next Avatar is born to the air nomads. Not surprisingly, Aang is a particularly gifted airbender who becomes an airbending master in record time thanks to the invention of the air scooter technique. Aang is confirmed as the Avatar at the age of 12, 4 years earlier than normal, because the monks fear war is imminent.
He needs to grow up as a normal boy.
You cannot keep protecting him from his destiny.
The monks decide to send Aang off to the Eastern Air Temple to continue his training. Now there he's going to be separated from his friends and more importantly his mentor Gyatso. Distraught and confused by his destiny, Aang runs away from the Southern Air Temple with his flying bison Appa. The two are caught in a terrible storm, pulling them deep into the ocean. Aang enters the Avatar state and encases them both in ice near the South Pole. The Avatar state is a defense mechanism designed to empower the Avatar with skills and knowledge of the previous Avatars. The glow which they emit is the combined energy of all those previous lives.
Focusing the energy through your body. In the Avatar state, you are at your most powerful.
With the Avatar missing, Fire Lord Sozin begins what would be known as the 100-Year War, attacking the other nations. Using the power of a comet, he launches a genocidal attack against the air nomads, attempting to find and kill the Avatar. Once all the air nomads are wiped out, or so Sozin believes, the Fire Nation sets its sights on the next nation in the Avatar cycle, the Water Tribes. They began capturing waterbenders, such as Hama, who would later develop the dangerous bending ability, bloodbending.
We did our best to hold them off, but our numbers dwindled as the raids continued.
Prince Ozai of the Fire Nation takes Ursa, a descendant of Avatar Roku, to be his bride. This isn't happy news for Ursa, way more Princess Bride-ish. See, she had just accepted a proposal from the man she loved in her village, Akeem. Now, this arranged union between Ozai and Ursa was to fulfill a prophecy that a powerful ruler would be born from their bloodline. Ursa has no choice but to marry Ozai. They have two children, Zuko and Azula. Around 94 AG, Iroh and his troops lay siege to Ba Sing Se. This fight would go on for 600 days before Iroh would back down. This was not only due to his tiring troops, but also due to the revelation that his son Luten had been killed in the siege.
By the way, Uncle's coming home.
Does that mean we won the war?
No. It means Uncle's a quitter and a loser.
Ozai exploits his brother's loss and tries to usurp the throne. His father, Fire Lord Azulon, says that Ozai should feel the same loss as his brother and have his firstborn killed. Ozai finds this acceptable.
Grandfather said Dad's punishment should fit his crime. You must know the pain of losing a firstborn son by sacrificing your own.
Liar! Desperate to save her son, Ursa makes a deal with Ozai. Using her knowledge of herbology, she'll create an undetectable poison to kill the Fire Lord. Ozai agrees, but says Ursa must immediately leave the palace so she can't use the poison on him, and must leave her children behind, never returning.
Zuko, please, my love, listen to me. Everything I've done to protect you.
Iroh will then abdicate from the throne, allowing his brother Ozai to become Fire Lord once the poison takes effect. Searching for a new life, Ursa comes across a man named Norin, who seems to already know her. It turns out this Norin is actually Akeem. The Mother of Faces had given him a new face. Norin tells Ursa they should finally be together and that she should change her face as well. She asks the Mother of Faces to give her a new identity, which puzzles her since Ursa is so beautiful. To test her sincerity, the Mother offers Ursa a very plain face, which Ursa says she'll gladly accept. She gets her new face, and the Mother, as a mercy, offers to erase Ursa's previous life from her mind. Unaware now of the life she's left behind, the exiled Ursa now lives as Noriko.
Remember this, Zuko. No matter how things may seem to change, never forget who you are.
Around this time, the Southern Raiders of the Fire Nation attack the Southern Water Tribe. still convinced that a waterbender could become the Avatar. The only bender in the tribe is 8-year-old Katara, so, in order to save her, her mother Kaya sacrifices herself and is killed by one of the raiders.
Just let her go, and I'll give you the information you want.
You heard your mother. Get out of here!
Years later, Ozai's heir, Prince Zuko, in an effort to gain insight into how he'll one day need to rule the Fire Nation, sits in on a cabinet meeting. There, he learns that one of the commanders plans to use a group of fresh recruits as bait.
You can't sacrifice an entire division like that. Those soldiers love and defend our nation. How can you betray them?
This outburst is seen as a sign of disrespect, not just to that commander, but to the Fire Lord himself, leading Zuko to battle his own father in an Agni Kai.
Rise and fight, Prince Zuko.
I won't fight you.
You will learn respect.
Because Zuko refused to fight, the Fire Lord said he exhibited shameful behavior and banishes him, not before scarring him though. In order to regain his lost honor, Zuko now searches for the Avatar and can only return home if he has the Avatar in tow. And this takes us right up to the events of Episode 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Uncle, do you realize what this means?
I won't get to finish my game.
It means my search. It's about to come to an end.
The story is just beginning, so be sure to hit that bell so you know when we drop our video chronicling all of Team Avatar's adventures as they try to take down the Fire Nation and restore balance to the world. This show has a huge backstory, so let us know in the comments which bits we glossed over and that you'd love more info on. Or help your fellow acolyte out and fill us in on all your pre-Avatar knowledge.
This is an ancient airbender head shaver we've refurbished just for you.
Oh, okay.
If you want more Avatar videos, just click to the left of my face, or you can check us out on Roku or Plex. Thanks again to everyone on Patreon, and thank you for watching. See you, Space Cowboy.